Hey, it's a great day. I'm Mike Current, Energizer, and today is day 61 on the Continental Divide Trail. Yeah, so let's do this. So for today, because I walked the 28 miles yesterday to get into Leadville, today I'm taking a zero in Leadville to go ahead and take care of all the administrative chores of getting ready for the next section of the through hike. I'm staying at the Inn of the Clouds Inn and Hostel. It's a really nice place, big hostel. And there's a lot of other through hikers here as well, and I'm enjoying their company. What I'd like to do on this video is actually answer some of your questions that you've had in the comments section of my earlier videos, and then address some of your comments. So the first questions and comments revolve around Knee Deep and MASH. I've been hiking with them off and on since Silver City around mile marker 150, so you've seen them in a number of my videos. Knee Deep and MASH are a young couple. They're in their mid-30s and they hail from Boston. They're going for their Triple Crown as well. The interesting thing about Knee Deep and MASH is they did the AT separately. It was before they met, and then they really started dating and getting to know each other on the PCT. But for them, because they did the AT individually, they have developed their own hiking styles. And you can see that in how they hike, their food that they carry, their equipment, everything else like that. Normally when you have a hiking couple, one of them kind of dominates and then the other one takes over that person's, hiking equipment and style and all that kind of stuff. But for them, it's very interesting to watch because they're quite unique in how they approach things. And Knee Deep is incredibly organized. She keeps me squared away quite a bit. And MASH, man, he is a powerhouse. I mean, both of them are outstanding through hikers, but yeah, MASH is just an absolute powerhouse. What I really like about Knee Deep and MASH is they are in their mid-30s. Now, it's easy for people in my age to go through hiking. I'm retired, have an income coming in, or those individuals who are just out of college. They're still on their parents' insurance and they don't have a care in the world. But it's those tweenies that are really interesting because they just have to put everything on hold. And that's what Knee Deep and MASH did. They wanted to have their Triple Crown, but they also want to have children. They've been married for a year now. And so they decided, well, we do our Triple Crown now, get it done, or wait 20 years after the kids are grown. And so they put everything on hold in their life to be able to focus in and do this hike. And anybody that has that focus, that dedication on something like this, I mean, there's nothing in life that's gonna be able to stop them as a couple. So it's just really, yeah, it's just so wonderful to be around them. They're a great couple, and they take good care of me. So the next questions and comments revolve around Early Bird. Early Bird hails from France. She is a freelance journalist, and in the wintertime, she works as a ski patrolman in her hometown. It's a resort village in the French Alps. And so for me to have somebody walk through the sketchy parts of the Rockies with all the snow and that sort of thing, I think I did pretty good. I mean, she is literally paid to rescue people out of the snow. And so, yeah, when you look at our partnership going through, we've been hiking together for safety purposes. I mean, she is definitely the one that, I have some, experience because I grew up in the Sierra, and I have winter survival experience and training in the military. But yeah, I don't hold a candle to early bird when it comes to being able to read the snow and travel through the snow. So when she tells me, hey, it's time to put on the trail crampons and break out the ice axe, yeah, I listen. Now, before doing the Continental Divide Trail, Early Bird did the Pacific Crest Trail, and we think we have her talked into doing the Appalachian Trail, but she is a powerhouse. I mean, she's up at Early Bird, she got her trail name. She's up at 5 a.m. on the trail, headlamp on, and then she moves out and she just doesn't stop. So besides being really good in the snow, she's just an incredible powerhouse as far as getting down the trail. And that brings me to the next topic, and that is hiking with other individuals. Early Bird and I hiked together for safety purposes, and well, the snow's kind of over with now. And same thing with Knee Deep and MASH. I really enjoy hiking with them, but we're all kind of lone hikers. Early Bird never had a trail family on the PCT. I never had a trail family on the PCT or AT. And so we develop our own rhythm. If I try to hike Early Bird style or Knee Deep and MASH style, I could wind up being injured. And the same thing, they want to enjoy their hike. So whether we continue hiking together or not, or we just kind of see each other in various camps, will just depend on the trail. And a good example of that is Knee Deep and MASH and we all elected to stop in Leadville and do a zero or a Nero for the other two here in town. But Early Bird continued on. So she did not stop here. She's going to stop in the next town in Breckenridge. And so I don't know when the next time I'm going to see her. I hope I see her again on the trail, but I don't know. And that's kind of how trail families work. You get together, you walk for a little bit, and then your interests or your priorities diverge, and then you separate. It just happens. I was privileged enough to walk with Early Bird and be able to learn from her and enjoy her company. But yeah, don't know if I'll be seeing her again. I hope so. So your next questions had to do with, or comments had to do with details that I put in the videos. And some of you have been saying, hey, you're leaving out details in your videos. Well, let me kind of put it in perspective, okay? A couple years ago, I ran the Eugene Marathon. It had been over a decade since I ran a marathon, so I was kind of due. I didn't do great because my knee is still messed up from the PCT, but I did pretty good. I finished the marathon. But if you've ever hiked the Eugene Marathon, it goes through all these really nice city parks, and it goes over some really nice bridges, and it runs along the river. It's just a really nice route, and it goes by some historical buildings, all of which I don't know anything about. But I do know, or did know, where the 5-mile marker was, the 10, the 15, the 20, and the finish line. I knew where all the water points were so I could rehydrate. That was my focus. I wasn't looking as a tour guide, I was looking at it from the perspective of a marathoner. Now, extend that out for the Continental Divide Trail, 3,000 miles. I divide the CDT into 5 sections: New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana. I further divide that down, although I don't have them memorized, to the 31 resupply points that I will get food as I'm going down the trail. Any other details, to be honest, are extraneous. I might know them as I'm looking at my map, but I'm not focused in on them. And that's why they don't come out in the videos. Now, in my videos, I do leave details for anybody using my videos to prepare for their thru hike. If you look at the introduction, I leave the day, what day am I on it? I leave the date, what date is that, because walking through the San Juans in June is a lot different than walking through the San Juans in May. And I leave the daily mileage and the mile markers. So if somebody has the Far Out app, they can follow me along and they can see all those different points. They can do that. You can do the same thing on Google Maps if you try. You know, my wife follows me along on Garmin, and she sees me, she sees the CDT, and she follows me along using the map that way. However, I do appreciate your comments, and I will try to add some details as I look, and I'll try to add some details. But with that said, I would like to really thank all of you that provide the positive comments and words of encouragement on my videos. I really do appreciate them. I read through them. Whenever I'm in town, I try to answer the questions if you have a question, but I really do appreciate the words of encouragement. But I would like to address those few that look at YouTube as, you know, being movie critics or something like that. Look, I don't make any money on my videos. I don't get paid anything. I just put them out for pure enjoyment, and so my dad can watch them, and family and friends, and anybody else that wants to come along. And so addressing some of the negative comments that I get. Look, some of you have commented I'm a positive person, and I really am. You know, I look at my life and I should have been dead long ago. Why God keeps me on this planet, I don't know, but because He has decided to do that, you know, I look at every day as a gift. I don't accept negativity from people I do know, and I'm certainly not going to accept it from people I don't know. When I was receiving negative comments before, and very few individuals, I was trying to be tactful and just say, hey, don't be a jerk. And I'm not going to do that anymore. If I get a snide comment or a negative comment, then I'm just going to block that person, because I just don't need that aggravation in my videos. So you're allowed one bad comment, but then done. Now, somebody did ask, how's my tent doing and how's the sewing doing for the new zippers? Yeah, it's working out great. It's working out really good. And in fact, it's really come in handy over the last week or so when the mosquitoes have been getting really bad. Other questions I've received are about my shoes. I wear Hokas. I did a video on the difference between drop and zero drop shoes, and I think people misunderstood in that video that I was promoting Hokas. I don't. I think if Hokas are right for you, Speedgoats are right for you, you should wear that shoe. They're right for me, but it might not be the right shoe for you. The focus should have been on whether you're going to wear a drop shoe or a zero drop shoe, and then you decide on the make and model of the type of shoes. But one of you did ask, what's the difference between the Hoka Speedgoat 5s and the 6s? My last pair were Speedgoat 6s because they just came out in June. Evaluating the two types of shoes, I would say the Speedgoat 6s, I think the toe box is a little bigger. Maybe that's just perception on my part, but if you look at how the laces are done and how it's formed, I think the toe box is a little bigger. And then there's a handle on the heel to make it easier to get on for the Speedgoat 6s. So I do think they made some improvements on the Speedgoat 6. I'll probably continue wearing the Speedgoat 5s just because I bought so many pairs of those, and they're still going to be in the resupply box. But I do think they've done a good job in improving the Speedgoats in the Speedgoat 6. Some of your other questions have to do with how I'm approaching this hike, and how many zeros I'm taking, what my mileage is, compared to what I did on the Pacific Crest Trail and the Appalachian Trail. Well, let's face it, the Continental Divide Trail is a different trail than the PCT, and certainly from the AT. So my approach is going to be different. Look, I have to think about making it all the way. And so when when I make decisions, that's my focus, is to make sure the body is staying healthy, to make sure that my timing is right as I'm going down the trail, so the conditions are at the right time where I am at, and then also remaining cognizant that the weather window is only so long. And so I have to factor all those things in, and that's what brings me down the trail. So although I'm hiking it differently than I did on the Pacific Crest Trail and the Appalachian Trail, trust me that I'm really focusing on the CDT as a trail itself and making sure I stay healthy, strong as I'm going down, and I can be able to make it to Waterton in the right amount of time. Again, I want to thank all of you for watching my videos. I hope you enjoy them. I make them for family and friends, and just because I enjoy doing it, and I'm glad to take you along. This video might have run a little long. One of the complaints I got on one of my earlier videos is, oh, it's running too long. Hey, look, if the video is running too long, just look at it, go to the 10-minute mark, and then just wait till the next day if it's just too long for you, and you can watch the rest, or just don't watch. Like I said, I get paid the same, which is nothing. And so, again, I want to thank all of you for your comments and your words of encouragement. I really do read them, and I greatly appreciate them. When I'm in town and I go back and I read through them. Later on in a different video, I will talk more about hiking with individuals and hiking with a trail family and just kind of that band of hikers, like the Band of Brothers. I will talk about that in a later video. But here I would like to say that I have been absolutely privileged to be able to hike with individuals like Knee Deep, like MASH, like Early Bird, and they have just made my life so much easier on the trail, and just being around them and their positivity has just made me a better person and has enriched my life. So I consider myself lucky to have walked with those individuals, and I will continue to walk with them and with other thru hikers on the CDT as I make my way down the trail and enjoy that experience. So I will see you tomorrow as I'm heading out of Leadville and back up into the hills. See you then.